everybody. It is Saturday, October 26th, and you know what that means. It is time for the High Risk Wrestling Podcast. I am your host, Reaching for Glory, Jeremy Pierce, and you can check out the socials, Charismatic Creations on Facebook and YouTube, Charismatic_Creations52 on Instagram, and of course the 215 on Twitter. And today's show tonight is Bound for Glory 2024. We'll talk about it, preview the show. Yeah, we're gonna have a blast. But for now, you know what's next, so just go on and hit my music. All right, folks, you know how we do with these kind of shows. We're just gonna dive right into what we got going on. So Bound for Glory is essentially TNA's WrestleMania, right? Every company has their WrestleMania. WWE has WrestleMania, TNA has Bound for Glory, AEW has Double or Nothing, I believe. I always get confused with Double or Nothing or All In or All Out, but it's Double or Nothing. WCW had Starrcade. So Bound for Glory is going down tonight in Detroit, Michigan at the Wayne State Fieldhouse, and it's a really good card, really fun card. But before we look at that show, let's look at last year's and see how last year's show went down. So we had a 7-match card because one of the matches was actually taped for another show, but we had Chris Sabin defeating Kenta to retain the X Division Championship. PCO defeated Moose, Rhino, and Steve Maclin in a Monsters Ball match. ABC defeated the Rascals to win the TNA World Tag Team Champions. They were Impact Wrestling, still at Impact Wrestling at this point. This was Chris Bay's Feast of Fire Tag Team title match. Will Ospreay defeated Mike Bailey in one of the best matches of the entire year. Jordynne Grace won the Call Your Shot Gauntlet, and this is essentially a winner receives a trophy and a contract to evoke anytime, anywhere for a championship match of their choosing. Trinity defeated Mickie James by submission, retaining the Knockout Championship, and Alex Shelley defeated Josh Alexander to retain the Impact World Championship. So that was fun, but we gotta dive into this card. And usually with Bound for Glory, we have some Hall of Fame inductions, and this year we have 2 Hall of Fame inductions. First things first, we have Bob Ryder. Bob Ryder is one of the 3 original founders of TNA alongside Jerry and Jeff Jarrett. He's a former online wrestling journalist who co-founded TNA with Jeff Jarrett and Jerry Jarrett in 2002 and worked with the company all the way up until his death in 2020. And the other inductee will be Rhino, who is from Detroit. He has wrestled for TNA on and off since 2005, and he is a former NWA World Champion when that was TNA's primary championship when they first got started. People forget that they were with the NWA, but he's a former NWA World Champion, Impact, 2-time Impact Tag Team Champion, Gauntlet winner, a whole bunch of stuff. He is going into the Hall of Fame, and it was very well much deserved. But let's dive into the first match on the pre-show. We have ourselves Ash by Elegance and Heather Reckless, now going by Heather by Elegance, and they'll be taking on Zaya Brookside and Brinley Reese. This is another one of TNA's tribute to the beautiful people. Ash by Elegance gimmick really involves her giving people makeovers, and it's fine. It's working for her. Anyway, Ash and Heather Reckless got upped by Brookside and NXT's Brinley Reese, leading to this tag match. This is fine. You know what I mean? It's a good way to get some NXT women on a show where they're not necessarily being used, because Brinley Reese isn't really being used in NXT right now, so she can come and work in TNA with this crossover. And this is good. The match probably won't be that great, but they got the upper hand on the go home show, so I'm going to take Ash by Elegance and Heather Reckless to win this match. Then we have the Call Your Shot Gauntlet Battle Royal. Sorry, not Battle Royal. It's just a gauntlet. And once again, this is the winner of this match gets a championship opportunity of their choosing, anytime, any place, anywhere. And we know 6 of the already 20 participants: Frankie Kazarian, Sami Callihan, Laredo Kid, Jake Something, Jason Hotch, and AJ Francis. And Kazarian will be coming in at number 1, while AJ Francis will be coming in at number 20. And given that, that Frankie's involved in the world title mix and it's been going on for about most of the year, I am picking him to win this gauntlet. Now, there definitely will be some surprises. I just can't see anyone else winning here besides Frankie Kazarian. So take Frankie Kazarian to win the Call Your Shot Gauntlet. Next up, on to the main card, we have Mike Santana versus Moose. And ever since Mike came back to TNA, most of, not the entirety of his tenure so far, has been feuding with Moose's faction. The system and feuding with Moose himself. This is the conclusion of this feud, probably. This is an important match for both of these men. They've been in big spots all year. Moose more so than Santana. Moose is a former world champion. He does have the system, and I can see him winning here, but Mike really needs a big win here because I can see him getting a title push somewhere down the line. The vignettes they ran for the Go Home show have been great, and they were some of the best things that TNA has done. This is going to be good. Question is, will someone else get involved? Will someone else help? Well, here's the thing. The system are involved in another match, and the only other person that I could see helping is JDC. You know what I mean? He is someone that's been affiliated with the system, and he could potentially cost Santana this match. But I think Santana's in a good spot where he can win this match. Moose can take a loss and be perfectly fine here. So I'm taking Mike Santana to win this match. Josh Alexander versus Steve Maclin. It's very, very clear that Josh Alexander is leaving TNA. Where he's going to go, who knows? I am very much making this assumption he's going to go to NXT, to WWE, because I kind of need Josh Alexander versus Seth Rollins in my life. But he is being heavily featured right now, and that's okay. He has formed a new faction called the Northern Armory with Saint and Sinner, Judas Iscariot, and Travis Williams, and it works. The gimmick has all been about beatdowns. They took out Eric Young, and they tried taking out his tag team partner, Steve Maclin. And Maclin is back to being a babyface, leading to this rematch from last year's Victory Road. I am digging this. I think what's going to happen is here, we're going to get a lot of interference, right? We're going to see things break down, not early on, but clearly somewhere in the middle. Eric Young will definitely get involved. Saint and Sinner will definitely get involved. But early on, we're going to get a really good tight wrestling match. Essentially, Alexander's here to help get Saint and Sinner over, but I think he's doing the job for Steve Maclin. These guys are both former world champions, but I see Steve Maclin taking this match. They put on a tremendous match the last time they fought, so I've got high hopes for this, but I'm going to take Steve Maclin to win here. Next up, we have the Knockouts Tag Team Championships with Spitfire, team of Danny Luna and Jody Threat, defending against Rosemary and Wendy Choo. This is going to be fine. It won't get a lot of time. Here's the thing for me. I really want Rosemary and Wendy Choo to win. I don't know if TNA is going to go out of their way to put one of their championships on a non-contracted TNA talent. Like, can you see Wendy Choo and Rosemary? And Rosemary has been showing up in NXT a lot, walking around with the tag team championships. Hell, even going up against the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. I'm not so sure. Choo and Jordynne Threat really got into it on the go home show, but Choo got the upper hand because of that damn numbers game, and you know the rule of opposite momentum when it comes to pro wrestling. So take Spitfire to win here, just because I think the next evolution of the tag team titles for the knockouts is Spitfire feuding with Ash Balligans and Heather Reckless. I think that is definitely the way to go here. So take Spitfire to retain. Then we have the Monsters Ball match with PCO defending the Digital Media Championship and the Canadian International Heavyweight Championship against Matt Cardona. This is one of the feuds on the card that has a lot of story here, that has a lot of history here, as PCO and Matt Cardona have been feuding for a good minute, and one of the big people that is a part of this feud is out, as that is one Steph DeLander. She is out with a neck injury at the moment. She just had surgery, successful surgery, so good luck with her. And kayfabe-wise, she is married to PCO, but also she was the manager of Matt Cardona, so something's got to give here. I think her injury has really hurt this feud. I mean, it happens. You just got to adapt and adjust, as she is the centerpiece of this feud and was the biggest factor. But Cardona's got to reinvigorate itself, and he's done that. This feud has been fun. It's been fun, but I think it's reached its last leg, and I think it has to go on hold until Steph comes back. But PCO's probably winning here, and part of the reason is Rhino will get involved, as Matt Cardona has taken him out, and it'll be a good spot for the Hall of Fame. So take PCO to win here, and let's see where both of these men move forward. Next up, we probably have the match of the night when it comes to the actual in-ring work, but Mike Bailey will be defending the X Division Championship against El Hijo del Vikingo, and all I need to say is those two names, and you're like, yeah, okay, I'm watching this. Honestly, outcome really doesn't matter. This is going to be a blast. 5-star classic in the Tokyo Dome. Mike is in his third X Division title reign, and this is his second defense after beating Leon Slater. And Vikingo's coming back from his injury, but he has spent time in TNA before. Both of these guys know what they're going to do. Yes, there won't be a lot of selling, and this is just going to be blessed. It's going to be very, very hard to describe this match, but it's going to be fantastic. It's going to be absolutely fantastic, and I'm just going to take Mike Bailey to win here. Yes, there is a partnership with AAA, but Speedball's got to retain here, and that's okay. He's got to get this his reign going. So take Speedball Mike Bailey to win here, but the match itself is going to be absolutely fantastic. Next up, we have a Full Metal Mayhem match, aka tables, ladders, and chairs, with the TNA World Tag Team Championship on the line, as the System will be defending against ABC and the Hardys. And this is only the 19th Full Metal Mayhem match, and only the first, and this is the first tag team one since 2019. It's been that long. Eddie Edwards has been in 5, and Matt and Jeff this is like their second part of the 3-way, but this is going to be good. The winners of this match, it's simple. You climb the ladders, you grab the belts, and I think we all have an idea who's going to win here, and I think that's the Hardys. There's no logic, there's no rhyme or reason for this match. It's just a way to get the Hardys onto the card because it's their kind of match, and it can cover up a lot of their limitations and their older age. ABC and the System have traded the belts, so it seems odd to probably put the belts back on ABC, but I could definitely see, you know what, I see the Hardys definitely winning here, getting one last tag team title run in TNA. This is going to be a blast. This is going to be an absolute barn burner, slobber knocker of a match, and that's okay. But take the Hardys to win here and start something new. Next up, we have the TNA Knockouts Championship with Jordynne Grace defending against Masha Slamovich. And listen, yes, I see it, you see it. Looks like Jordynne Grace is probably also on her way out. She knows her deal is up. Her deal is up in January, so there's not much time left. But she's going to help supporting the company, building the company that helped make her a star. And she is closing in also on Gail Kim's all-time days record with the title. So that gives me cause for pause on possibly picking her to win and retain. But Masha Slamovich is got some momentum with her, right? She's beaten Masha in all 3 previous outings. So do we get a changing of the guard here? Do we get Masha Slamovich walking out as champion? Masha has lost a tag team partner, and what's her former tag team partner? I do not remember. Alicia Edwards, who got hurt, and then before, Killer Kelly, who's not hurt but she's pregnant. So Masha's back to being the kind of crazy dominant force that she was before, only really losing to Jordynne Grace. All the previous matches that they had have been really, really good, and I think they're going to step up here. But the outcome of this match does not seem in doubt at all. I definitely see Masha Slamovich walking away with the championship here. That's okay. I think Masha gets this run, and it can be a really good change of the guard moment, because I do honestly believe that Jordynne Grace is on her way out of TNA. Next up, we have the main event that will be Nemeth defending the TNA World Championship against Joe Hendry, with Frankie Kazarian as the special guest referee. First things first, how did that even happen? So how in the bloody hell did he pull that off? I do not know. They never explained it, but just like how I feel about some of the other title matches, I think the outcome here is not in doubt. So how do we get here? Hendry beat Cass in the number 1 contenders match, and it had a dusty finish. Nick Nemeth was on commentary, and Nick has, been right there in the middle, saying how much he respects Hendry and he wants to defend the championship. And Joe Hendry is clearly super over. He is the babyface, and Cass has continuously put himself into the title picture. Now, again, don't know how Cass ended up being the special guest referee. Why? And Santino didn't do this. This was done by the Anthem officials. So why would you have Santino be in charge and not have any TV execs on TV? Anyway, this is going to be crazy. It's going to have a dusty finish. Remember what I said about the gauntlet? Call Your Shot Gauntlet. Who's going to win? It's tying into this match, because the winner of the gauntlet kind of usually just does it after the match is over. Remember when Moose did it when Josh Alexander won? So you add in all of that, and I think 2 things are definitely happening. One, Joe Hendry's winning. TNA kind of loves the babyface wins just for the heel to snatch it right from under them. So for the match itself, it's going to be good. Take Joe Hendry to win here. It's going to be a really good affair. You kind of have to pull the trigger on Joe Hendry, right? But Kazarian is calling his shot. Question is, does he do it before the match? Does he do it during the match as the special guest referee? Does he do it after the match when Hendry wins? Either way, when the night is over, when all things are said and done, Frankie Kazarian will be your TNA World Champion. And you know what the crazy thing is? I don't think Kaz has ever won the title. He has not. As ingrained as Kazarian is in the fabric of TNA. The fact that one of my opinion, the TNA originals, guys that helped build the company, has never won the world title says a lot. And I wholeheartedly believe that he is leaving as your champion. He's going to call a shot, and I think it fits Kaz winning and then Hendry taking the belt off of Kaz. That's the way to go. This match will have a ton of shenanigans. It will be absurd. It will be fun. But Kaz is leaving as champion. I'm sticking by that decision. So let's go over our picks, our winners one more time. I have Ash by Elegance and Heather Reckless defeating Zaya Brookside and Brittany Reese. I have Kaz winning the Call Your Shot Gauntlet. I have Mike Santana defeating Moose. I have Steve Maclin defeating Josh Alexander. I have Spitfire retaining the Knockouts Tag Team Championships. I have PCO defeating Matt Cardona. Mike Bailey defeating El Hijo del Vikingo. The Hardys to win the Full Metal Mayhem match. Masha Slamovich to defeat Jordynne Grace. And Joe Hendry followed by Kazarian to win at the end of the night. It's not the flashiest card, but it is a card made up of a lot of stories that have been built up really, really well over these last couple of months, and you have to go out on a bang. Question is, will there be a surprise? I've heard nothing, but keep your ears to the floor, keep your eyes open. But that is our show. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Look on the screen, check out what we got coming up next week and even next month. We're going to start on that November schedule, and the 200th episode is coming up. We got to figure out what we're going to do with that. Check out the socials, Charismatic Creations on Facebook and YouTube, Charismatic_Creations52 on Instagram, and of course the 215 on Twitter. And as always, Anna J, Chris Statlander, Willow Nightingale, Gigi Dolan, Bailey, and Isla Dawn. Holla at your boy. Peace.